What are some smart Pokemon investment ideas that you should be taking into practice right now? Well, stay tuned and we'll talk about it right after this. All right, everybody, I'm Andy with Northwoods TCG, and today we're going to be kicking into safe practices that you should be doing right now with your Pokemon investment. Now, does it just pertain to Pokemon? No, it pertains to a lot of these outside investments from the main institutions. So, if you're looking at sports card investment, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, all the way through Lacana or One Piece, all of this can pertain to those particular places, but we're going to specifically use Pokemon investment as the main driver of this video because, hey, that's what I do. So that's what we're going to be talking about primarily here in this video. But if you usually just take the Pokemon and replace it with said TCG that fits you or CCG that fits you and what you're doing, it will still work as well. So we're going to get into it with the first thing, which is going to be you need to come up with a plan. More and more and more, I'm seeing people come back or joining into this hobby right now that do not have an investment plan. Now, regardless if you have a 401k, regardless if you're buying property or real estate, or if you're going into crypto, you need to have a plan for investment. What are your goals? What is your ideas? Where are you going to be putting your money? Why are you putting your money there? Are all important factors that you should be considering when you're looking at investing into any market. It is no different in Pokemon cards or Pokemon investments. You need to be doing your research and making a plan of action for what your expectations are when it comes down to investing into this hobby. Once again, sitting down and writing it on pen and paper, getting it out in writing so that you can see what you're looking at and what your ultimate goals are going to be are definitely beneficial to your overall investment in the Pokemon TCG, and it's going to give you a very, very good, strong leg up for what direction you're going into. Next thing that I want to talk about is choosing a direction. Now, once again, a lot of people are coming into this hobby that are new. I'm getting a lot of new questions from individuals that have never been in the Pokemon hobby, which is fantastic. It's great to see that growth and that exponential growth in the hobby itself. It gives us a great opportunity to continue to lineage and keep moving on this investment front and showing that Pokemon is a viable opportunity. But for those individuals that are asking these particular questions, you need to sit down and decide what's best for you and what you feel you can be the most comfortable at. As a lot of investments, some people don't go into real estate because real estate investments are very sometimes daunting and there's a lot of cost. There's a lot of other outlook things that you don't see when you're setting up. And there's also a huge expense for potential repairs and maintenance of these buildings when you're doing investment in realty. Some people don't join 401ks or don't specifically run their 401ks because they don't understand the markets. They don't understand what direction that they're going into, and they don't know where they should be putting their money to get the best results. And that's the same with any form of investment currently out there. When it comes down to it, either A, you have someone holding your hand and guiding you through the process, or B, you have to learn how to do it on your own. Well, Pokemon, I hate to tell you this, guys, there is nobody that's going to take a lump sum of money from you right now and personally invest it for you. You're going to have to do that yourself. Now, I'm sure someone would take your money. I'm not going to lie and say someone won't take your money, but and get the best returns and the results for yourself is going to take a lot of research, a lot of time going through what works for you, becoming comfortable with the CCG or TCG. Pokemon investing can be fun, but understanding what products are usually sought after or are rare versus ones that are just mass produced and have no real potential realizations of gains for a huge period of time can be the difference between you being successful and profitable in the Pokemon investment space to possibly just not making it at all and losing money. And these are the things that you need to consider. And going back to that planning, once again, taking those steps, planning it out, finding out what you're comfortable with, building on your comfort level, and trying to grow in that direction and become very good at a certain section of the Pokemon TCG. If you want to be a sealed product wizard, become the best at sealed product. I've said this before, I'll say it again. The more you can niche down sometimes and really understand a section and get a good grasp, especially for someone that's new or just starting, is going to give you the best results because you can really become good and understand what you're doing. As you become more experienced and more seasoned in the Pokemon space, and you understand more of what people are looking for, you can start to branch out. You can start going into raw cards. You can start going into graded cards. You can start going into Japanese and Chinese. But realistically, niching down and becoming very good at one and then branching out later is going to give you a very good success rate when it comes down to your investment. Understanding and becoming fluent in what you do is always going to give you a leg up in any market when it comes down to investments. Last thing that I want to really stress for anybody new coming into this space, markets change. Pokemon investment market changes from era to year to week to week. We can be going from a place where we have so much product, we have no idea what to do with it all, as per the beginning of the Scarlet and Violet era, to being now in the later or mid part of the Scarlet and Violet era where we can't find product to save our lives. Now, this is a fact that happens in most eras. We saw this happen in Sword and Shield as well. It was no product at the beginning of the era, tons of product in the center of the era, and then at the end it started to really slow down and ramp down to where investment opportunities became available. Understanding these market fluctuations and understanding that this is how the Pokemon TCG and the Pokemon Company operate are definitely going to be huge advantages for you as you're growing in the Pokemon TCG and using that as your investment advice to sit there and make the right purchases at the right time. So whether you're looking right now, is now in the current market in December of 2024 a great time to purchase into the Pokemon TCG as an investment? Probably not. There are probably some small things out there that you can maybe pick up and work with. There are some Sword and Shield and some older set things that are starting to move because of the lack of product. But in general, when you're looking at a current market that we're in, it's not really the best opportunity to buy. This usually leads into a market where we have a great opportunity to buy, because what will happen is Pokemon will then super produce and they'll start producing a lot of product and oversupplying. And that gives you a great opportunity as an investor to get in on those rock bottom prices, those sub 100 booster boxes, those $30 ETBs of sets that are very sought after and can give you that long term gain. Last part that I'm going to talk about is that's very important. And I always like to put this at the end because I think that it's something that you need to determine for yourself to be the best at what you're doing. Is decide, do you want to do short-term flip, short-term investment, so less than 1 year, or are you looking for the long game? So a lot of that makes decisions on how you're going to present yourself and position yourself in the Pokemon TCG. There are people that are very successful on the flipping side, grabbing products and holding it. And I did a whole video, and I will link it up above me, of course, right over here by Vaporeon. And if you would like to go back and watch that video, I kind of break this down a little bit more in the details on how you should be doing this. But in general, you need to decide whether or not you are better at a long-term game, buy products, hold on to them for 5 to 6 years, maybe 10 years, and let that play out to make the best opportunities come forward, because a lot of times long-term investments can sometimes give you very good gains compared to short-term investments where sometimes it's a quick 10 to 20, 30% and you're in and you're out, you get your money and you're going to move on. A perfect example of that I will use right here on my table is going to be these 3-pack blisters from Surging Sparks. Once again, because of the lack of product in Surging Sparks, these right now are selling currently at Walmart for like $13.99. They are currently selling on TCG Player right now for $23. Once again, after fees and all that, you can make a quick few dollars on each one of these ones that you can turn around, and that's going to give you that short-term flip. Now, could this be more valuable? Now, we've seen really good things out of 3-pack blisters for long-term as well. We've seen some 3-pack blisters go from the $11.99 that they were in Sword and Shield, pushing all the way up to $30, $40, $50 for them, and that's an opportunity as well where that long-term game can kick in. And if you have plenty of space and you're not concerned about money being held up, it's definitely a great way to have some really good futuristic games, such as what you would see with your traditional investments, such as real estate or with your 401k. Short term is definitely going to be a short term thing right here, right now. And sometimes speed is going to be your number one thing that you're looking at. So, once again, check out the video I linked. Great opportunity to go in and really feel for what's good for you when it comes down to your Pokemon investing side. But realistically, guys, I just wanted to go over a really refresher with this again, because I am seeing a lot of new people in this hobby. I'm seeing a lot of new people with this insurgence right now. This lack of product is creating another buyer's market where people are spending a lot of money. I'm not saying it's a buyer's market for people investing, but people are buying this and willing to spend money on this particular point. If you've been stocking up and you've been holding on the products now for a few months, now is a great opportunity to potentially sell some of that product to make back some of that money off your shelf and put it in your pocket to be able to move into the next thing. Because when we hit the next dip, there might be some good opportunities when we have another large restock, reprint, or reestablishment of product that we are not having at this point in time. So again, that market does fluctuate. The Pokemon investment market fluctuates. Understanding how to read those fluctuations and jumping in at the right time and jumping out at the right time can definitely be the best advice that anybody can get. And a lot of times, I hate to tell you this, guys, it's a learning curve. You're going to mess up maybe a couple times, or you might just get lucky and hit it right every time. But there is a learning curve. Understanding that market, building on that market, and becoming very good at reading the market can be a big difference between making maybe $1 or $2 on a product to making hundreds of dollars on a product and getting ahead of these markets. So once again, I just wanted to go over that, talk to you guys about this. These are the things that I think are very crucial if you're new in the Pokemon investment space to either learn or figure out. Make sure you go through, write it down, make a goal, make a plan for how you're going to invest. We do that in all other investments. You don't go to the 401 for your 401k or into the stock market and just throw money at the wall and hope that you make money. You don't go out and buy a piece of real estate and hope that it's going to make you money. You don't go out and do other standard investments without having a plan or a planner doing that for you. So be sure you're taking the time to plan out your moves so you're not spending money wastefully and not getting returns on the products that you think you can because you didn't have a plan. You're buying singles, you're buying graded, you're buying sealed, you're buying all this different stuff, plushies and everything. You're trying to bring everything in. It's not a sustainable way of doing things. Last but not least, make sure that you guys are taking the time and understanding the markets. It's important. Overall, guys, hopefully this video was helpful for people that are new. If you've been here for a while, maybe it's a good time to go back and reassess your plans and make sure that you're at least staying on them, because some of us, like myself, have been on them for almost 5 years now, and things change. The market changed. The overall consumer base has changed, and sometimes reevaluating those plans is a good time to do that. So regardless if you're old or new, now may be a great time for you to get into the hobby or get back into reassessing yourself and becoming more successful with your Pokemon investments going into 2025. Hopefully this is a good video, guys. If it was, be sure that you guys hit that like button, number one. Number two, make sure you guys hit that subscribe and notify bell so you know when we're doing new videos and lives. And last but not least, make sure you share this with some people that you know are learning in the Pokemon TCG to help them understand what they're looking for in the market. Other than that, guys, thank you everybody for joining me today, and hopefully you have a good and Merry Christmas. Other than that, we'll see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.